Hello and welcome to Transform Learning English, your very own YouTube channel for learning English. Today we are going to look at the effective techniques for learning English. Okay? Alright. So let's start with something. First of all, speaking in English is not a measure of intelligence. It's just another language like Hindi, Bengali, Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam, Gujarati, okay, Assamese. It's just another language. And for us Indians, it's not our mother tongue. So we don't have to feel afraid of speaking in English, of learning to speak in English. It's a given that it's not our mother tongue, so we have to learn how to speak in English. Okay? Spoken English is just a part of communication. Communication is about understanding and listening, understanding and responding to someone whom we are communicating with. First we listen to that person, then we understand what that person is saying, and then we speak and reply back. Right? Okay. So first of all, we have to look at this fear of English. That is the main reason why most people are afraid to speak in English. They feel that I will say something wrong and people will make fun of me and blah blah blah. But look at children. When they are growing up, they learn and they fall and they get back again. That's the only thing which separates a learner, a person who actually speaks in English, and a person who cannot. Because a person who keeps trying will get there someday. Right? So the most important thing for me is mindset. Okay? So that's what I tell my students. The mindset is the most important thing, that I am going to learn this, I can learn this, and I will learn this. Okay? It's not rocket science, it's just another language. That's all it is. Alright? So, here. So the most important thing which I keep telling my students, that is the mindset. You have to have a strong mindset and you have to be focused on learning. You have to be motivated enough to learn. If your reasons are not big enough, then you are going to give up halfway. Alright? So the most important thing is the mindset. The problem with the people who do not learn is they quit too soon. They try for some time and after some time things are not working out, their English is not improving, they quit, and that's why they don't see any results. Okay, so it's the same thing like the gym. Most of the people who go to the gym, they don't see any results. Why? Because they're not consistent. They work out for some time and then they'll stop. They won't follow their diet, they won't take the proper rest, and then they won't exercise properly. Same things, same techniques like with learning English. We have to stay consistent. That is the secret. Okay? Now, I look to my students, that I want to transform their learning English experience. And that's the best techniques I found out which is most effective in a short period of time. I work for several edtech companies, spoken English company, public speaking company, teaching English for students, kids. So in my experience, that mindset is the most important thing which separates a good English speaker from a person who cannot speak in English. Okay? So mindset, keep in mind that you can do it. Okay? Next, English grammar. English grammar is very important. English grammar is very important. But it's the rules of the English language. Okay? But while speaking, if we are focused on English grammar, that means we are translating. And that causes most errors when we are translating from Bengali to English, Hindi to English. That causes the maximum amount of errors. So what I do teach English grammar, and there are a separate series in my YouTube channel on English grammar, nouns, pronouns, adverbs, adjective, types of adjectives. But do you really think that this is going to help you speak in English fluently? I don't think so. Alright? So the most important thing which I feel is, which I am different from other English teachers, is I focus on effective techniques to learn English in a short time. Now, rules of grammar can be learned. You can learn types of nouns and pronouns, but that is not going to help you speak in English. Do you think the people who are in native English speaking countries like UK, USA, and they know the grammar? In our own country, if you observe that when children grow up, whether it's in South India or whether it's in Bengal, they adapt to the language they are surrounded by, right? So the key part is listening. Listening is the secret. Listening is the secret. Okay, that is the key part. We'll come to that. Okay. Right. So grammar can't teach you intonation, on which words to emphasize on and which words to not emphasize on, the tone, tonality, those parts grammar can't teach you. All right. The only thing that will happen that can teach you is practicing with a speaker. Now, right. So what happens is, many of us are well versed with grammar. We know the rules of grammar. Many Indians, we are scholars, we know the rules of grammar. But while speaking, we cannot speak. Have you ever thought what is the reason? Even though you know all the rules of grammar, while speaking you feel very unconfident, or you are not confident to speak while speaking, right? So the reason is, we don't train our ears to listen. Once we listen to good speakers, then we can copy and emulate them. All right? It's called shadowing technique. We are going to come into details in future. All right? So, listening is the secret. It is the fastest way to learn any language. Again and again, I'm emphasizing for my students that listening is the secret by which we can accelerate our learning process. See, we all are here as working professionals who want to better our communication skills so that we can achieve that in a short period of time. So I can only tell you the most effective techniques to do that in a short period of time. All right. Next, active listening. So most of the times what we do is we do passive listening. We listen to a movie, listen to the news, but our mind is somewhere else. What we need to do is active listening. Active listening, by active listening, we are listening to each word that person is saying. Like suppose when Arnab Goswami is talking on the TV, or maybe Faye D'Souza, or Palki Sharma, a first post, they speak so well. Okay, so we have to listen to that and copy that. There are again great speakers like Veer Sangvi, of course, Karan Thapar, and many more, right? Okay, so what we have to do is active listening. Listen to exactly how they are speaking, the speakers, and then try to copy it. Okay, next. This involves surrounding your environment with English. Now, if you really want to learn English, every single day you have to practice listening and you have to surround your environment with English. That means that you listen to English news, you listen to English movies, you listen to English songs. You have to do it for some time until it becomes a natural process. Okay? Right. So, language is not only knowledge but rhythm and feeling. If you see, each language, Chinese is spoken with a certain rhythm and tone. Indian languages, South Indian languages are spoken with a certain rhythm and tone. North Indian languages are spoken with a certain rhythm and tone. So language is not only knowledge, but it is also about rhythm and tone. Now this rhythm and tone you can practice by observing other people, right? Okay. Right. Now, what is the shadowing technique I was talking about? The shadowing technique. Now, the shadowing technique involves when you're repeating a person, like suppose you're watching someone, a newsreader on YouTube. You watch them for 30 seconds, stop it and repeat it. Watch them for 10 seconds, stop it, repeat what they are saying. Try to say it the way they are saying. That is the shadowing technique. The art of imitation or copying. No great artist first creates his own painting or music. First they have to learn the process through imitation, right? So this is a part of creativity, to imitate, and then we learn the process. Okay, all right. Now, chunk learning. What is chunk learning? Chunk learning is a very effective way of learning a language. When you hear a word in a context again and again, then you get that word imbibes within you. Like suppose it's a kitchen related word, we hear it again and again in context. Then we assimilate the word. We can easily use the word in our vocabulary. Okay. Next is daily conversation practice. Now, what is daily conversation practice? What I say is learn 10 words a day. That is enough. 10 words a day for 30 days, which makes 300 words. That is much better than learning 3000 words which you are not able to use. Just learn 10 words a day and keep revising those 10 words as you progress in the week. Okay? Revising will help you remember the words, use them accurately in sentences. Right. And vocabulary is just like money. Now, if you don't use it, you lose it. It has to circulate. So you have to, keep using these words. You don't need to be like Shashi Tharoor and use big words. Okay. Fluency is about using words with clarity, right? And fluently, so that the person can understand what you're saying. Okay? Right. Common and practical words. That's things which we can practice with, which we use every day, every single day. That is like verbs like go, eat, adjectives like big, small, nouns. Okay? These are the building blocks of real conversations, these words. Okay? Right. And of course, I said reviewing previous words. Revision is very important. Otherwise, if we don't review the previous words that we have learned, we will only we will forget them. Okay? So that's it. It won't register in our memory. Alright? Then, this is the very most important point. Stop translating and start thinking. Now, people will ask, how are you supposed to start thinking? I'm a Bengali. I speak Hindi. I speak Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam. How will I start thinking in English? Start small. You don't have to, and think the entire passage in English. Start small. 1, 2 sentences. Get bigger. Try to think it before you speak it. Okay? These are small practices how you start thinking in English. Alright. Then, commonly used phrases. The commonly used phrases, what we use in every day-to-day life, we can learn those and we can try to use them in our day-to-day life. Now that will help us with the vocabulary and using these phrases. Okay? Now, shadowing technique I've already spoken about. It's a very effective technique which is used by most actors and politicians also. When you try to copy someone, like for example, when you see Sean Connery playing James Bond and you try to copy that. My name is Bond, James Bond. Okay, I'm sure that was a very bad impression of Sean Connery. But the whole point is that you have to imitate a person that you like, and then you are going to speak like that person. So shadowing is a very important technique, the imitation game as it's called, and children use it to learn, and so can adults. Alright? Next, change the environment. You have to change your environment. Like in India, most of our people around us do not speak in English. So that's a huge problem. So we have to change the environment, like from the news, movies, web series, podcasts, documentaries, everything which we'll watch in English. Even music, the entertainment. Okay? Journaling. Now journaling is a very important aspect of technique of learning English, because it involves your very personal connection. Okay? Either you can do the to-do list in the morning of things which you want to do in the day, or done list at night, like the things which you have done throughout the day. But journaling or writing it down is very, very important to absorb the daily use words into your vocabulary. Alright? Next. The breakthrough will come when you move from a translator to a speaker, when you can think in English and you can speak in English. Okay? Right. So don't just improve your English with Transform Learning English, but transform your English speaking ability. All right. Now, in the end, I want to talk about AI tools and teacher. AI tools are very good for learning English. By the way, they are based in English. And as we know, the AI director in Tesla, also Nvidia, they are all focused on English as the future programming language. So we do need to know the English language to use the AI tools. And with the AI tools, what my students have found, first of all, it's boring, it's repetitive, it's monotonous, and it's not a human. So what happens is, when there are many students, the most important thing as a teacher, I feel, is to motivate the student. Knowledge is available everywhere, through the internet, through books, knowledge is available. But to motivate a person to keep going forward, when they do not have faith in themselves, I feel that is the role of a teacher, to be a motivator for the students. And I don't think that AI is going to replicate it anytime soon. So all the human teachers out there, get better, and we are going to take on AI. Right. Okay. Right. So these are the main points which I wanted to make towards effective English learning techniques, and how I differ from other spoken English classes. Okay. So you can look me up on Facebook at Transform Learning English, on Instagram at Transform Learning English. My WhatsApp number and calling number is 8100092846. That's 8100092846. And my email is arnab070@gmail.com. Alright, so you can look me up, and if you really want to learn spoken English and better your English communication, I am the person to get in touch with, because I take personal care of all my students to ensure that they can speak even better than me. Alright, there are much more techniques which I am going to discuss in paid classes. So come and join me, and let's start this journey together at getting better at learning English. Okay, let's transform learning English. Thank you.